Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Kyle Richards gives sobriety update as Dorit questions if she's drinking in RHOBH Season 15 premiere exclusive. The premiere of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 15 wastes no time diving into the tension that has been brewing for months, tension that has little to do with diamonds, designer heels, or high-end drama, and everything to do with a deeply personal crossroads in Kyle Richards' life. Her sobriety journey, a topic that has danced around the edges of the last 2 seasons, takes center stage as the women reunite on camera. But it's not just Kyle's commitment to staying sober that grabs attention, it's Dorit Kemsley's pointed questions that ignite an unexpected firestorm and set the tone for the season ahead. From the moment Kyle arrives at the season opening dinner party, viewers sense a shift. There is an unmistakable clarity in her demeanor, a grounded presence that stands in stark contrast to the swirling chaos around her. Fans will recognize the change instantly. Kyle is sober, calmer, and far more measured than the version of herself who once found relief at the bottom of a tequila shot during stressful cast trips. What begins as her attempt to move forward with intention quickly becomes complicated when Dorit, her longtime friend and frequent sparring partner, raises the issue on camera in a way Kyle doesn't appreciate. The premiere begins with a montage of the women preparing for a new season, but Kyle's scenes carry a quiet emotional weight. She discusses her sobriety not as a temporary experiment, but as a lifestyle choice that has reshaped her outlook during one of the hardest periods of her life. While the cameras don't push her to connect sobriety directly to her marriage or her relationship struggles with Mauricio, viewers can sense the unspoken connection. Sobriety has become a stabilizer, a way to keep herself centered when everything else feels uncertain. But the calm doesn't last long. At the first group gathering, Dorit arrives with questions that quickly feel more like accusations. She asks Kyle whether she's really not drinking or just drinking off camera, an insinuation that Kyle clearly finds insulting. The table goes quiet, the air thickens, and Kyle's jaw sets the way it does when she's trying not to explode. Her sobriety is something she has worked hard for. It's personal. And in her view, Dorit crossing that line in front of the group is both disrespectful and manipulative. Kyle's response is icy but controlled. She explains, in articulate and clipped tones, that she hasn't had a drink in over a year and that the decision wasn't for a storyline, speculation, or image makeover. It was for herself. She emphasizes that sobriety has been one of the few things that has given her clarity at a time when she desperately needed it. She admits she didn't realize how much alcohol had been serving as a numbing mechanism until she stopped altogether. It is a glimpse into her vulnerability, a rare and genuine moment from someone who has spent decades in the public eye. But Dorit keeps pressing. She suggests that the sudden shift from wine-loving to stone-cold sober feels abrupt, and she wonders aloud if something else is going on. It's classic RHOBH provocateur energy, the mixture of concern and thinly veiled confrontation that Dorit has mastered like choreography. But this time, it lands wrong. Kyle doesn't hear concern, she hears suspicion. And suspicion from someone she once considered a very close friend feels like betrayal. What makes this moment so compelling is not just the disagreement but the unspoken history between the two women. Their relationship has been rocky for over a year, strained by misunderstandings, hurt feelings, and shifting alliances. For Dorit, Kyle's emotional distance last season created a crack she never fully understood. For Kyle, Dorit's expectations and demands for closeness felt overwhelming at a time when she was already drowning in her own personal battles. That tension bubbles beneath the surface the entire premiere, and the sobriety question becomes the spark that ignites it. Kyle opens up in her confessional, revealing that sobriety has allowed her to see clearly which friendships feel supportive and which feel performative. She confesses she no longer has the emotional bandwidth to defend herself from making healthy changes. She wanted her friends to simply accept her decision, not interrogate it. And most of all, she feels Dorit's questioning isn't about concern, it's about control and frustration at no longer being at the center of Kyle's inner circle. Meanwhile, Dorit offers her own perspective in her interview segment. She insists she asked the question because she cares about Kyle, because she doesn't want to see her friend hiding anything or struggling alone. But even she admits the delivery may have been harsh. Still, she can't quite shake her confusion about how drastically Kyle has changed. Her confessional hints at a deeper storyline. Dorit feels abandoned, and the sobriety question was a window into that emotional abandonment rather than a real inquiry about drinking. What begins as a conversation about alcohol quickly morphs into a broader commentary on friendship, loyalty, and the shifting dynamics among the Beverly Hills women. The premiere sets the stage for a season in which Kyle no longer plays the role of peacemaker or emotional sponge. She is more guarded, more introspective, more willing to pull back than to stretch herself thin to keep everyone happy. Her sobriety update is not just a storyline, it's a catalyst for her evolution, a symbolic line in the sand that separates her past from her present. As the premiere concludes, the fallout between Kyle and Dorit remains unresolved. The tension hangs thick and unresolved, promising viewers that this is only the beginning. Kyle's sobriety is more than a talking point, it is a lifestyle shift that will shape her relationships, her decision-making, and her identity this season. And Dorit's probing questions are not simply about drinking, they are about loss, change, and the fear that one of her closest friendships may never return to what it once was. Season 15 opens on a note of transformation, confrontation, and emotional honesty. And if the premiere is any indication, Kyle Richards' sobriety journey will not only challenge her, but also challenge the women, especially Dorit, to face their own insecurities, assumptions, and expectations. It is raw, tense, and deeply human, the kind of story that reminds viewers why RHOBH continues to captivate after so many years.